welcome the second game here in Hong Kong, the first day of play. A lot of kids here, crowd building up nicely. It's the 38th annual Hong Kong Sevens, bigger and better than ever before. 28 teams, 4 more than ever before at the tournament. 2 competitions, a League Division 1 and a Division 2, if you like, 2 separate competitions, but lots for each of the 28 nations to play for. And here they are for the second game, the flags, the proud flags of Georgia and Jamaica. This is a Pool F game. They've never played before in their IRB Sevens history, but that doesn't mean to say that these two nations don't have any history. For instance, number 12, when we look at the Georgian team, is Tedo Zibzibadze, who was here in the very first IRB Sevens World Tournament back in 2000. So he's lasted a long time in the game. Also number 3, Irakli Mashkanali, the other serious veteran for Georgia rugby, who's been to 3 Rugby World Cups for 15s. Back in the sevens now to make his mark with the Georgian team here. On the other hand, here are proud Jamaica. They were founded in 1958. They're 82nd in the IRB rankings, but they will be traveling to Moscow in late May. That's because they qualified via NACRA, the North American and Caribbean Rugby Association's qualifying tournaments. So we welcome Jamaica and Georgia for game 2 here in Hong Kong 2013. And here they come. Well, if you know your sports history, you'll know that the Jamaicans are the team, of course, in the gold jerseys with the black shorts. And Georgia mostly appear in sports events in the white colours. Rugby has made tremendous advances in both of these countries. The referee for this one is Andrea Spadoni of Italy, and we welcome him to the Hong Kong Sevens 2013, part of the HSBC Sevens World Series. So to kick off for Jamaica is number 5, Odell Hyman. Jamaica playing right to left against Georgia, taken by Zurab Zanelza from Georgia, but straight away Everton Richards, number 12, at the open line ahead of him, and there's a bit of early fumbling from both teams as they try to settle down. Orlando Jones is caught by Zanelza. Away they swing to the right. With me in commentary for this one is the former Scottish international Scott Hastings. Some excited young men on the field for this early one, Scott.
Yeah, very much so. Some early handling mistakes, but this Jamaican team, I was speaking to them in the team room, they're so anxious to get their hands on the ball, and a lot of them with rugby league experience, incidentally, and looking to put pressure on this Georgian line.
So here they come. I think the Georgians would be bigger players. Number 3 is Irakli Mashkanali. He's the one I was telling you about, as such an experienced international for them. And now they've got men over here on the right. And it's a good run coming in here by Koralishvili as he comes towards halfway. Swung away now by Givangilia. And out at the halfway line, they swing it left and looking good. This is Kamaladze out to Mashkanali, the veteran. Irakli Mashkanali, as he's done so often for Georgian rugby, out on the wing in the 15s game and here in the sevens as well, scores a try out wide.
Yeah, interesting to see the different styles of play. The Georgians looking far more physical, but far more structured, I would feel. Hence the reason of the try, but they used the space well. Georgia brought the play from the halfway line out wide, and Coach Elania, he'll be pleased with that.
So there is Irakli Mashkanali. well, I think it's safe to call him a star. He plays for the Amasi club in the Georgia Premiership. 63 caps, 9 of them at the Rugby World Cup events. And like a lot of Georgian players, he played a couple of seasons in France. And maybe that, Scott, will give these Georgian players, even though they're not perhaps proficient so much in sevens, a lot of experience of playing in the big rugby scene.
Oh, without any shadow of doubt. A couple of these Georgians have actually been playing in Rugby World Cup qualifiers over the last month in Europe, and they'll be desperate to also qualify. They're still in contention for the Rugby World Cup qualifying in England in 2015, and also they're looking good today.
Well, I've been to 3 Rugby World Cup events, Georgia, and they've got some good players here. Switching to the left, Lasha Kamaladze, and there is Irakli Mashkanali, who scored the try over on the left side. He's on the right now. This is nice, crisp passing. They're big guys, and perhaps a running game is not natural to them. That's Zurab Zanaladze and Irakli Givangilia there. They move it out further to Tedo Zibzabadze, and the same man's going to get try number 2, Irakli Mashkanali.
And again, just an indication that Georgia have just commanded the ball, they've commanded the possession, and as a result, Jamaica have had to chase the shadows. And casting one of the biggest shadows on this pitch is that man there. Mashkanali goes in for his second try. Simplistic in the way it was moved, but it was good awareness that the space was out wide.
Let's have a look at this Mashkanali. He's made his debut in Dubai in 2000. Well, that was the 2000, just before the 2001 season. That was the second season of the IRB 7 series. We're now up to season number 14. So that gives you an indication of how long this guy's been following the bouncing ball. And look how much possession they've had in comparison to Jamaica.
You know, the graphic just summarised everything. You know, if you're going to play sevens at international level, you have to keep hold of the possession. And it's Georgia who've had the majority so far, not crossing the 10-yard line on that occasion. So Jamaica will have attack restart on the halfway line. Still enough time on the clock for Jamaica to get points on the board.
Number 1 is Tyrone Rowe. Referee is referee Spadoni of Italy. These are the early games of the biggest ever Hong Kong Sevens. It's the 38th year this tournament has been held, and of course, for the first 24 of them, it was just a wonderful Hong Kong Sevens, and now it's since 1999 been part of the IRB tour, and it's really built in its status. Now 28 nations competing. We've had the West Indies play before, and last year we had Guyana. This year it's Jamaica. Running with the ball now is Orlando Jones. There's some beautiful Caribbean names that these guys bring to the tournament. And with the tackle, it's Victor Kulalishvili, number 8. It's on the Jamaican side, nicely kept alive, but they're getting monstered a bit in there.
Yeah, the physicality. Look at the white jerseys just trying to drive over the ball. Jamaica started that attack. They got up to the 22, but they've now been forced back to their 10-yard line. And Georgia have overturned possession, but back into Jamaica, but an offside position there. But you know, really, Jamaica have got to try and use the ball wide, because if they get involved in this physical tussle of a game against these Georgians, they'll not survive.
So Kamaladze, and now it's with Zanaladze. He's already got 2 tries. Mashkanali, he's trying to shake off the attentions of Everton Richards, number 12. Away it comes through Givangilia. Nice work now in the middle of the field by Kamaladze. They go to the left. Nice pass off Zibzabadze. Gets it away to Kulalishvili. And it's another try. And that one, I think, is with Zibzabadze. Tedo Zibzabadze. These guys are veterans, and the veterans are scoring all the points. That's 3 tries to these guys who have been playing for 13 and 14 seasons.
Yeah, excellent awareness of the space. And again, just another indication of the physicality and the support. Ball popped out there. Well-crafted try, just as the hooter goes for half-time.
3 unconverted tries. The kicker is Lasha Kamaladze, but Tedo will be pleased. Zibzabadze is his name, from Périgueux club in France, and his team Georgia go to the half-time break ahead of Jamaica by 15-0. So here is inside the Georgia team. Alanya is the coach. And the coach of Jamaica is Conroy O'Malley.
First to the man, get me stopping and passing ball over here, so the first man, man, man. You look at the pace over here. Alright? I'm going to use the back and I'm in this game. By the way, score Jacob, he's come back. Okay?
My side, look, use the ball. Come here, the ball do the work. You understand? This shot, come in, man.
So there are the statistics of the first half as we see Jamaica and Georgia getting set to play the second half of this game 2 on day 1 of the HSBC Sevens World Series here in Hong Kong. This is tournament 6 of 9 this year, and don't forget, in just 98 days from now, the Rugby World Cup Sevens will be played for in Moscow. And that's bound to add extra spice to these games this weekend here in Hong Kong. So Lasha Kamaladze plays for the Lilo club in Tbilisi, and the whole of the Georgian rugby team are nicknamed the Lilos, Los Lilos. Conroy O'Malley, head coach of Jamaica. They've got a lot to play for. They're down here at the moment, but they're off to Moscow, part of the 24 teams which will be playing there. They qualified by winning in the South American and Caribbean knockout series. Sorry, the North American and Caribbean Rugby Association series. But they're just not getting possession here, Scott Hastings.
Yeah, also I've been impressed actually with the handling of the Georgians. Some nice crisp passing, using the space. They're pulling the Jamaicans wide. They've got plenty of bodies on this far side.
And this is nice from Kamaladze. Well, it's a bit of a tussle there between the two players, and the referee probably a bit wide out to consider a penalty try, but it's going to be a yellow card against the Jamaican defender there. And so it's going to be 7 against 6 for the white team of Georgia for the next 2 minutes. And as a result, there's more space on the field for the Georgians, and the try is scored by Victor Kolalishvili.
Well, look at the size of this fella, Victor Kolalishvili. Packing down in that front goal. Look at the size. Lots of experience there, but again, with Jamaica down to 6 men, Georgia knew exactly where the space was. He was the interference of Andrew Hilton, taking out the Georgia player. Suddenly tap and go. Just an easily executed try. 7 on 6. Well, it always leaves 1 extra on the outside if my maths is good enough.
Coach Alanya pretty happy with that one. Scored by Kolalishvili. He's a 23-year-old.
Just a wee indication there, Keith, as well. An excellent conversion, and of course the additional 2 points when you get to the tight games. Those conversions are so important.
Yes, it's 4 tries, 1 conversion now, and there's the very important kickoff. It's actually gone to Jamaica, but there was a real chance there, as it looks good here for a run for Hey! Here we go, Jamaica are here and happy. Uriah Martin gets a runaway, even though they only had 6 men on the field. And it's this kind of spectacular play that it will endear the Caribbeans to the crowd. Look at this one, never say die.
Hey! It's quite hard, that ground, you know.
And the conversion attempt coming from Everton Richards. Well, we've got Usain Bolt on the world sporting scene, and it's a lovely run by, it's actually Joseph Shea, my apologies, Joseph Shea, who has scored the try in a spectacular dive. And the referee's gone to his pocket again for throwing the ball away. Now, the referees told us before the tournament started they'd be coming down hard on that kind of activity. So 2 yellow cards against Jamaica, and Kolalishvili going for his second.
Hey, that's here.
Oh, Jamaica now down to 5 men. And yet it's still Victor Kolalishvili. Still had the pace and the power to get outside the tackle of Taroni Rowe.
So how many players did they have on the field when that try was happening, Scott?
It was 5, as I've just said. Back up to 6 now because the previous 2-minute ban on Hilton is back on.
Is Shavlek Makarashvili's kick is a very good one, just shaves the upright, but it's a good lead now for Georgia, 27-5.
Georgia looking actually very comfortable this tie, Keith. You can undoubtedly see that just the more experienced heads within their team. They've had more shape to their sevens platform, and this will be an encouraging start for this Georgian team. Great experience for them coming out here in this qualifying tournament in Hong Kong to see if they can get through to Twickenham at the end of the HSBC Sevens World Series to gain a qualifying spot.
That's all that talk about Usain Bolt. Is pretty easy to draw these conclusions, but the Jamaicans look like they might have more speed than the Georgians when they do get the ball, and they've got it again from Hubert Thomas, and he is off the bench and into the scorebooks. So what do you think? They're sprinting. Remember, they got gold, silver and bronze in some of the sprint events at the Olympic Games.
This is how they're going to have to play the game. I've been talking about it. Use the ball wide, get it into their fast men, and they found the space there because this man can shift. Hubert Thomas, remember his name. Look at the boots, look at the step. And again, it's all down to the possession. Once you've got the possession, you can start to dictate and pull that Georgian defence out of line.
And a more sensible dive to the line, may I say, than the previous guy. Look at this beautiful gear that he's wearing. And it's 27-12. We've had a lot of action in this one. Just a minute to play. And they obstructed. Man still in the bin for Jamaica. That is Ronaldo Wade. And where's the bounce of this one going to go? It's touchdown for a restart at the 22. Yes, the referees are going to come down very tough, Scott, aren't they, on throwing the ball away and stopping the flow of the game.
That's right. It's all about just making sure that the ball's put straight down, not eating into the time, because time is so important on the clock. You know, if there's 1 second left in the clock, there's always a danger that a team can score.
So look at Andrew Hilton there. He's very keen on the charge down. And nearly got it, but it's away. And that'll be there's Coach O'Malley calling for some action from midfield. Was that deliberately not kicking over the 22?
Not taking the kick quick enough. Oh, good try, Jamaica.
And they get another try. Kenneth Hepburn. Well, if they hadn't had a few guys in the bin and a few gaps in their defences while they settled down in the first half. They might have been well and truly in this. I think they're going to run out of time here, but that's 3 very good tries by Jamaica, although there was a bit of tackling the man without the ball in the background by Georgia. 27-17, the kick is wide. Let's see if there's a restart. No, there's not. Disappointment for the Jamaicans, but they sure had a good second half, running in 3 tries. One of them was a spectacular effort by Joseph Shea, also Thomas and Hepburn. But in the first half, Georgia ground out a spectacular performance and won in the end over Jamaica by 27-17.